Hello and welcome to Tutorials, and this is a tutorial, and guess what it's on now. I can't believe we haven't already done this, but it's on lightsabers. Finally, we're doing a tutorial on lightsabers in After Effects, in case you wanted to know. Now, any of you lightsaber fanboys, Star Wars, whatever, on YouTube may have seen RVD, Ryan vs Dorkman. It's one of the greatest lightsaber fights on YouTube. RVD1 and RVD2, watch them. Just RVD, just YouTube it. It's got some of the most awesome looking lightsabers and choreography. It's well choreographed, and it's got some good effects on it, which is like melting walls, cutting off hands, sparks, stuff like that. Just watch it. Reflections, that's a good thing. Yeah. So now we are going to find out how to make lightsabers in After Effects, and it's quite simple actually. Now here we have Tam holding a lightsaber. Now when you film this, well, we used a bamboo stick, not the most ideal things, because they bend when moving, and even when they're straight, they're not moving, they're bent. So not the best idea. Try and use like metal poles. Well, not metal, because you could hurt someone, but try and find a good straight pole. And when you do it, put markers on it, bright colours. Like we used red tape because that's all we could find. Use blue or something opposite to your surroundings. Because if we use green tape for here, look at the compression on that. This was shot on a very old camera of mine. If you use green tape and you're outdoors, say, you would it would blend with the background. So put markers just up and down the stick you're using. So when it moves, you can interesting face there, Tam. Yeah, this is Tam, by the way. This is, yeah, crazy look. You can see it blurring, and it helps a lot. And now I just want to warn you all, this is the most tedious this is one of the most tedious things you can do when making visual effects. It will take, you have got to have patience for this. For example, me and Tam made a lightsaber film ages ago, years and years ago, on an old DV camera, and it was about 3 to 5 minutes long. I can't remember how long it was, but it took a month to do all of the lightsabers. A month. So you need to have patience with this. I used this software called FX Home FX Lab Pro. It's on, where have I got it installed on here? Where's F? FX Home. FX Home FX Lab Pro. It's basically muzzle flashes, flares, particles, and lightsabers. It's about 80 quid. It's under £100, I remember. It's a good starter software to use. I highly recommend it for beginners. After Effects can get quite complicated with all the bending and the lines and the feathering. So what you want to do first is make a new solid over your image, and my solid's over here. 2 monitors, by the way. Make it comp size, blah blah blah. Make it white, must be white, and turn it off. Now you want to press G, get the pen tool up here, and find the beginning of your blade. We had red tape on the bottom, not very subtle, and just cover the lightsaber. Now the FX Home software, oh, that's the bending for you. I'm going to just temporarily bend this. Yeah, I'm going to bend this just for the sake of the tutorial, because it would look ugly. So if you click and hold on the pen tool and go to Convert Vertex tool, and this allows you to create curve. You just click on it, and then you can move this point to bend the line. This can be useful on the ends of the lightsabers, where it can get a bit funky. It it isn't always perfectly flat, because I've seen really bad examples where it's basically a box over the lightsaber, and really it's curved, slightly curved like that. And this FX Home software can control the curve. You can control how much curve you have on the end and the top. You can do all of that fancy stuff. I might do a tutorial on it, like a demo of it, so I can show you. Now, I'm only going to do one frame just for time's sake. So so you've done the first frame. You need to go into the mask properties, and you can press M, and it will bring up the mask path. You press the stopwatch, and go to the next frame. So you can press page down, that will go to the next frame, and it will move. And then you want to reposition this. So if you press V, it will bring up the mouse, and then you can move it over it. Now, if the lines aren't exactly lining up, you can still move the lines around a bit. I'm going to ignore that for now. So you want to do that for every single frame. So depending on how quickly and how good quality the footage is, so you can see where the lightsaber is, you can get it. You can work fast. You can do quite a few frames a minute. Try and count how many frames you can do a minute. That's always a good thing. So you've like got a benchmark to set something. Count. So you put it in frame view. If you press Control click on here, you can see how many frames there are. So for example, this shot, there aren't lightsaber. This is a failed take, by the way, because I don't know what happened. He's stabbing a bush, but then he hits his hand on it somehow. I don't know how you do that. Oh, ow, ow, ow. Eh. Yeah, so if a lightsaber was in the shot the whole time, that's going to be 274 frames to go. Right, I've done that bit. Next frame, move it, move each 4 points. Next frame, move each 4 points, and so on. So basically you're doing that for quite a long time, and that's why it gets tedious. It's the rotoscoping. This is what it's called, rotoscoping. You're drawing around something. Yeah, this is a basics tutorial, by the way, so I'm gonna, in another tutorial, I'll go on to a more slightly advanced stuff for you. So this is just basically making the lightsaber. So now, let's just say we've managed to do all our frames. That does not look like a lightsaber. It looks like a white blob. Badly drawn. So now, we want to press Control D, and that will duplicate the solid. You can also go to Edit, Duplicate right there. Now, just for the sake of this, we're going to turn off that footage, and now we're going to press F on the layer above. Now we're going to increase the feather slightly, but we don't like the mask lines, so if we press this button, we can hide them. Don't worry, the mask is still selected, but you can control it. You can see where the lines are. So now we want to add about a 5 feather, so that will soften it up. We are going to duplicate it again, press F, and we're going to add 10. Duplicate it again, F, and then we're just going to keep dragging it out. There we go, that's starting to look more like a lightsaber. Now you can add more of these for more of a feather. Depends how close the lightsaber is. If it's close to the camera, you want to get a nice big glow. So you want to do lots of them. So we're just gonna, I just duplicated the mask, not what I wanted to do. Let's duplicate the layer. So F, and you can. There we go. So now I'm going to select all of them. Hit M, no F or something, and that will just collapse them all. Now we're going to pre-compose it. So we press Control Shift C, and we shall get to this window. We're just going to call it Lightsaber. Is it RE or ER? I'm going to call it ER. Lightsaber, not Lightsaber. So now we have a lightsaber on top. So now, if we turn on the footage, it's sort of okay. It looks okay. We'll add the colour in a second. Something we can do. Now at the moment there is an alpha channel, so this is not the render key, please, thank you. This is just transparency on it. There's no blending mode, so if you go, it won't lighten the area behind it. So we can add a solid, a black solid, comp size, and put it on the bottom. So now there is no alpha channel. This shows the alpha channel, by the way. So now it's just black. What is it? What do we do? So now we press F4 to bring up the modes. We can also press this button. We then press that and go to add. There we go. It now brightens the area around it. It looks more realistic. You can either use screen, which is less intense, or add. I'm going to stick with add for now. Doesn't that look cool? So now we want to add some colour. Now we go to effect, colour correction, colour balance. There it is. Now we want to preserve luminosity. Don't ask why, just do it. And depending on what colour lightsaber you want, you have to alter, you have to change these values corresponding to their colour. I sound all clever then. So, what colour do we want? Let's go for red. No, blue. So we're gonna up this value of the shadow blue, up the middle, and the highlight. And we can also, don't want to do it too much, want to keep it subtle. So we can also mess around with this to make it more aqua-like. Don't make it, there we go. So now it looks like that. Now that looks like a quite nice lightsaber. So you can add more, you can duplicate it if you want, you can make it brighter, you can go back into ear, go back into ear, governor. Go back into here, add some more layers to the thing. We can also press T on all of the layers which have got feather. This one doesn't, that's just the middle solid. If you want, you can feather that one to about 1 or 2, and that will make the edge less harsh and stand out more. Yes, but with all of these other layers we can drop the opacity to about 80 or something, and it's less bright. You've still got the glow, but it's not as intense and blurring out the solid so you can't see it. So yes, you can keep adding more and more layers until you find what's good. So there is 2 frames done. You can, now you have to do all of this looks things once you've finished all the rotoscoping, so you can't really see what it looks like. I'm going to bring up a project where I've actually done rotoscoping on it, so there's more keyframes. Also, a quick tip on the solids on the mask: if you press U, it quickly brings up the keyframe. If you haven't selected anything, any layers, and you press U, it will select all of the keyframes in the layer. Ooh, there's 2 masks on that, but I don't care. Yes, it will select all of the keyframes in the comp. And if we press the button next to the 1 key, it will maximize it. I think there is another button on the Mac, I'm not sure. But we can maximize the view, so we can see how nice and sexy this looks. Now, you do get some banding. I'm not sure if this works if you make it 32-bit. Yes, it does. If you press Alt, yes. Just thinking about what I'm going to say next. I haven't gone away. If you Alt-click on the bits per channel and raise it to 32-bit, the blur will be nice and smooth. You'll get less banding. I'm not sure if you can see it on the YouTube video because quality, compression, blah blah blah. But it will get rid of most of the banding. So that's at 100%. You can barely see any. So it will basically make the quality look a lot better, and the blending, it would look a lot better as well. So yeah, that's a good tip as well. If you're ever doing something with gradients, like using a ramp, always put it on 32 bits per channel. It does slow it down, and glows as well. Yes. So there you go. I shall find this project for you now. And here it is. This is the lightsaber film, a slightly more recent one, but we haven't actually finished it, but we've given up with it. We filmed it 2 years ago. We still haven't finished the rotoscoping. We haven't done much, but it's... Okay, here we go. I shall give you a little preview of this. Maximize that. Why is it not playing? I have to do it, yes. I have to do it that way. There we go. There it is. We got some lightsabers going on here. We got some slow-mo stuff. This was actually shot. My handycam can shoot in the slow motions for about 3 seconds, and it turns it into 11 seconds. I'm not sure the frame rate. I estimated it around 100 frames a second, but the quality just goes like a thingy when you do that. Like, this is HD. That's 100%. It looks terrible. 100% HD is... It's still terrible in this camera. But anyway, here we have some lightsabers. Looking fine and dandy. And that's the reason why you should blur the main bit, because you get some really harsh edges, and it does look a bit odd. So let's just have a look at this one. Look at that angry face. So basically the same technique as before. Really slow. Same technique as before, making a solid. Oh, look at all those keyframes. Making a solid, animating it. What? Ugh. Just horrible. And you have to make sure, if the lightsaber goes off frame, you keep the mask away from the edge, because if it's too close, you'll start to see the feather spilling out onto the video. So, yep, that's what it is. And the same technique again, just duplicating it. I kept the opacity as it was. Added some colour balance. That's a nice looking saber. But I forgot to do it in 32 bits. Let's see what happens when we do it in 32 bits. Banding, gone. And the glow, it changes. Another tip, glows when you're using glows. Now you can make lightsabers with glows, like just make the first solid and add a glow to it, but that can look terrible. For example, let's just turn off those. Okay, maybe the others. Where is the solid which has got no feather on it? Really? Oh yeah, there it is. Let's just collapse all of these. Turn everything off apart from that. Turn it back on. There we go. Let's add a glow, and in 8 bits. On the solid, effect, stylize, glow. Now we want to change the radius on that. Now you can see that just looks terrible. If we just we can improve it though. We can improve it by going back to 32 bits per channel. Alt click, by the way, if I didn't tell you. It can start to look a bit better. It looks a bit weird on the edges. We can adjust this glow. We can duplicate it as well. And then maybe increase the tolerance threshold, whatever. Now it looks like a blob. It does like to make it look thicker. A lot thicker. Yeah. I would not use glows. it looks unnatural. And let's turn the rest of them on. Yeah, stick with the feathering. That's the way to go. So there you have it. Lightsabers in After Effects. This was the basic tutorial. If you want to see a more advanced tutorial, for example, what happens when the lightsabers hit, when they light up, when a lightsaber passes behind something, so you have to do some magicry there. Yeah, I think I'll cover that in another tutorial. So there you go. If you want to do that, click here now. If you haven't clicked here, do it. Do it. Okay, I'm scaring you now, and this hurts my throat. So there you go. If you liked it, give us a sub. That'll be nice, please. Thanks. Cheers, man. Yeah. Later, taters. Oh, I hate my life. Joke.